What's up, everybody? This is Ape the Cool Dad. I'm on the road live recording from my hotel room. I hope everyone's having a great week. I'm currently in Charleston, South Carolina. It's really warm and there's lots of good food and drink around here. But I wanted to take time to talk about Marvel Rivals because it's my favorite game right now. Anyhow, there's Season 3.5 updates coming at the end of this week, and they're very disruptive. And this video, I'm going to be talking about the most major changes that are going to go on. And this is in regards to addressing the toxicity in the community, and I've recorded a couple of videos. I'll put the links in the notes about all the toxicity that's going on, that has been going on in the Marvel Rivals community. The Marvel Rivals community, and this is really important. And I do have my opinions on it, so stay listening to hear that. I'm also going to get a little bit into the character changes and balances that are going to be done on Friday as well, on August 8th. So let's get to it. I want to tackle the biggest thing first that most people are really upset about, and that is a change to how many players can stack up in ranked games. So for you that don't know, right now there are some limitations. You can't have 5 players at any time, and you can have only up to 4 players until you get to Eternal. That's going to change. So starting Friday in Season 3.5, they're only going to allow a stack of up to 4 players for the ranks bronze through gold, and then platinum through grandmaster they'll allow up to 3 players to stack up, and then anything above that will be only 2 players that will be allowed to stack up. So there's a lot of people that are really upset about this because they like to have a 6 stack. I've played in 6 stacks many times and it's been great. We've dominated a lot of the time, and it's been really fun, and it's how I got to Celestial during first season. So the question is this fair for ranked? And this is actually a little bit more of a complicated issue than I thought. And as I've been recording this, I've been thinking this through and actually changed my mind on what I was initially going to say. I will have to say that this game is a multiplayer game. It's team-based. And if you can get 5 other people willing to play with you, or get invited to play with 5 other people, and you can all agree to stay online and play some matches together, you should be rewarded for a team that is cohesive and that works together really well. They should want people to play in teams of 6. That's the point of the game. It's teams of 6. With that being said, I'm part of a huge Facebook group for Marvel Rivals, and I was giving tips on a post and advising people that if they can stack up to 6, they should do it. And I will tell you, all the flaming I got and the people arguing and calling me stupid and just saying mean things just because of that one thing that I suggested, that they should play in a team of 6. So my opinion is, yeah, if you can find a team of 6 and they're good players, I think that's fine. Obviously, NetEase doesn't think it's fine. And apparently the rest of the world, at least that's on Facebook, in this group of 20 to 50,000 people, a lot of these people do not think a team of 6 is good either. And I think a lot of people don't like queuing in a team of 6 because then you get some type of esports sweaty group, or some clan, or someone who's some group that's really insanely good, and they're gonna stomp them, and that's absolutely possible. But I just feel like that is in competition in general. Life's not fair, and the world's not fair, and if people team up and form a good team, they're going to be better at it together, especially if they're really cohesive and they're having fun and they communicate well and they're skilled players, and skilled players will usually attract other skilled players. So my opinion is that 6 is fine, and if you can find 6 up to this point, that's no problem. But people don't want 6 players, and NetEase is understanding that. So I don't see why people are so upset about this. You can still queue 4 players up, and that's the majority of the community, is queuing 4 players up to platinum. Once you hit platinum and on, yeah, it's going to only be 3 players, and you're going to have to be a little bit choosier on who you queue up with. I don't think that's great, but it could be that ranked matches are going to get better because you're going to have less 4 stacks and 6 stacks in the higher ranks, and maybe that's going to be a better experience. And we all know that NetEase wants people to have a happy experience, to have a good experience playing ranked matches, particularly in this game. So I think it's going to help things a bit. We'll see. I could be totally wrong, but I think it will help the games be a little bit more balanced. But I personally think that it's not something that they should do, or that it really matters that much, because that's just again, that's life. You have six people playing a game and they're really good at the game. They're going to do really well and they're all going to rank up together. And that's the point of the game. So I don't agree with their decision to do this. Do I think it's going to help? Yes. But I just don't agree with that decision. So I'll just leave it at that. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this whole how many people can stack up together. Please leave a comment, and I'd love a like and subscription to the channel. Love to see you come back. All right, let's get to the next topic. So we all know that NetEase records the voice chat in this game. This was not a surprise to me, but what is the surprise now, or at least just say not a surprise, but it's understandable, or at least somewhat to be expected here, is that NetEase wants to take on toxicity, and they're going to start using AI to sort through all the recorded voice chat to eliminate people that are toxic. The question is whether this is good or not, whether the community is going to benefit from this or not. Now, a lot of people are very upset about this already, and the internet is lighting up with people upset. Let me game this through a little bit here, okay? This is NetEase's game. It's free for everybody to play. So the barrier of entry is really low, and anyone can pick up this game and play, and anyone can use a microphone that they want, and they're paying for all of this, right? And the other factor is that when people are anonymous and they're hiding behind a microphone and behind a screen, they are particularly really nasty. And again, I've talked about this in my toxicity videos that I've recorded about this game, but it's so bad that most of the time when I play this game, if I'm solo queuing, I turn off the voice chat. No one has anything good to say in this game for the most part when I'm listening to people at all. There are a few people that talk and communicate and they really want to play the game legitimately and they're nice people. I get that. You may be one of those nice people, but most of the time when I get on this game, there's people that are angry, drunk, high, whatever issues they have in life they bring to this game, and if there's something you don't like, they just start, calling you out, and if you resist or say anything that they don't like, they go right to, obscenities and calling you racist slurs and things like that. And for the most part, there's just nothing good. There's nothing good that's worth for me to turn on voice chat, just in case I find one of those, 2% of the good people out there that are actually nice when they play this game. No, most of the people are not nice. Now, when I play with teammates, we will use voice chat together, but there's a group of us and we're a little bit stronger when we're a group, or we'll use Discord or a team chat or a private chat in PlayStation or whatnot. But yeah, voice chat in this game is a problem, and I understand NetEase wanting to take this on and try to eliminate toxicity and bust people for this. Now, they're going to review things and to make sure that the people are doing something that's toxic versus just, clowning around with their friends. I think there's some nuance here. We will see how this plays out, but I have to say, as much of a freedom of speech kind of person I am, this is NetEase's game. This is their server. They're paying the bills for this, and they have the absolute right to say, you know what, we don't want people on here saying mean things and being toxic and just destroying our game, right, and driving people away from our game. They have a right to do this. So I'm open to this idea. I don't sit there and trash talk people and call them names and things like that. I do get angry and upset once in a while, and I try to control that if I am using voice chat. But I think it's probably going to help clean things up a little bit, because now you're not so anonymous. Now you're being watched. Now there's a penalty or a restriction or a consequence if you are toxic to people in this game. And we're going to see how people handle this. We're going to see how NetEase handles this. So I'd say this is good for the game, good for the community. I think the people that just are upset about this maybe are the people that are toxic and just want to hide behind microphones and be mean to people. And that's fine. You know what? NetEase doesn't want people like them playing this game anyways, right? Okay, I think this last major change to the game to eliminate toxic behavior, the community is actually really behind, and that is putting up harsher penalties for people who quit the game. And it is a little complicated. There's several tiers of discipline that people go through. If they're idle for a certain amount of time, or if they're idle then they quit, or how much time is left in the match. I don't really want to list off all those things. It's on the website. I'll put a link in the notes for that article. But basically, people are going to have harsher penalties for quitting ranked matches. And I see so many posts about people so upset that they work hard to get in a ranked match and just have someone quit because they're throwing a tantrum. Or it's not quitting because there's not a good internet connection. Let's be honest. It's mostly people that are just upset because the game isn't going well, or they didn't get to play the character they want to play or play the class they want to play. And people just are very casual about quitting ranked matches. But the funny thing is that the penalties are going to be more severe as well for quitting quick play. NetEase doesn't want you quitting their game. If you're in a match, you're in the match, okay? And for most people, and most of us playing this game, we're pretty intentional. We want to finish the match. But there's just a lot of people who think, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to quit. I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm tilted. Or I just want to go do something else. Or whatever reason it is for people have for turning off their computer or their PlayStation or signing out or whatever it is they do to quit the match. And I think these penalties are going to make it harder for people to do this, and they will think twice maybe about being so flippant and quitting the game and quitting the matches. So I think this is a good thing. I'm glad to see NetEase crank this up a little bit. I'd like to see him cranking up even more, because I hate losing a rank or going on a losing streak just because half of my matches someone left the game. It's so ridiculous. It's awful. Until NetEase has some type of a solo queue where people can fill in on ranked, that would be kind of cool. That way people can fill in when someone quits, just like they do in quick play. But I am yet to see that in any ranked game that I can think of where that happens, and maybe for good reasons, I don't know. But this is a good thing, so I'm looking forward to seeing that in action. All right, let's talk about the characters and what buffs or nerfs they're going to get. This is the part everyone's been waiting for, and I'm going to start with the Vanguards here. Doctor Strange is getting a little bit of a buff, so there's going to be increased daggers of Denak projectile charges from 8 to 10, and then they're going to reduce his Cloak of Levitation cooldown from 15 seconds to 12 seconds, so a little bit of more maneuverability with Doctor Strange. He'll continue to be a strong contender for a tank. Groot's also getting a bit of a buff. He's got slightly more reach and bigger effect radius for the I Am Groot. There's an increase in Vine Strike range from 20 meters to 22 meters, and increase in Flora Colossus effect range from 20 meters to 24 meters. Expect to see a lot more Groots. Magneto is actually getting a slight nerf. They're going to reduce his metal bulwark and iron bulwark shield value from 300 to 250. I still think he's going to be a strong contender, though. So Thor is controversial. He's been reworked, but he is getting a buff. He's getting one fixed Thor force upon exiting the Awakening Rune awakened state, and his Lightning Realm new effect is that enemies leaving its boundary are grounded for 2 seconds, restricting aerial abilities. Actually, that can help Thor control the battlefield a little bit better, so I think that's going to bring more people back to him. Let's talk about the duelist here. Black Panther's getting a little bit of a nerf here. There's an increased Spirit Rend cooldown from 8 to 10 seconds. Iron Fist is getting a buff, and I'm happy to see that because I love playing Iron Fist. So he is losing his team-up anchor, which I'll talk about in a couple minutes, but there is an increase in his Jeet Kune Do 5th strike damage from 50 to 55. There's an increase in his Yat Ji Chung Kun percentage damage from the enemy's max health per strike down from 2.1% to 2.7%. This is huge because Iron Fist is really, in my opinion, meant to take down tanks, and I see so many people just not use him correctly, and it annoys me. He is anti-tank. He's great for taking down Captain America or Hulk or anyone who's going to come in your backline, especially the Thing. All right, that aside, that's probably for another video. They're adjusting his Harmony Recovery bonus health decay time from 1 to 2 seconds, so it's going to take him a little bit of time to heal, which is fine. And then they're increasing his Kunlun Kick's first strike damage from 30 to 35. So overall, some buffs for him. Star-Lord's actually getting some buffs. Peter Quill gets a little more staying power in the heat of battle is what they're saying. He gets 25 bonus health when using Stellar Shift, which is his new ability, the team ability with Rocket, which lasts for 3 seconds before decaying to 0 over 1 second. I think you're going to see a lot of people play Star-Lord, and I think people should start practicing him. Wolverine's getting a little bit of a nerf here. There's an increase in the energy cost for his ultimate from 2800 to 3400. And yet, let's see here, the lifesteal gained from Primal Flame, the Phoenix Warrior team up, it no longer contributes to Wolverine's ultimate energy, ability energy. So I think it's a little bit of a nerf for him. Maybe we won't see as much of him. We'll see. We'll get to see that. Spider-Man is getting a buff. Increased damage per second of his ultimate from 150 to 170. So expect a lot of surprise Spider-Man alts in your backline and use characters that are good at fighting Spider-Man, okay? Adam Warlock is actually getting some buffs. There's a reduction in the energy cost for his ultimate from 5,000 down to 4,700. His new effect for his revival, the allies gain a bonus health equal to 70% of their maximum health, which lasts for 5 seconds before decaying to 0 over 2 seconds. That's going to help keep people alive when he revives them. The Cosmic Cluster has a new effect. Each hit now reduces Avatar life stream charge time by 3 seconds. So he's going to be maybe a little bit faster at healing if players are really good and you can actually hit targets with him. Cloak and Dagger's getting a little bit of a nerf on the energy required to cast her ultimate, and it's going from 4,000 up to 4,300. So there'll be less us against the worlds, as you hear in every match that you play with her. All right, Mantis. Well, let's talk about Mantis. We're going to get actually more into Mantis when we get the team ups, but she's getting an increase in her healing by 10% because she's got a new team up effect as an anchor, and yet they're going to reduce her healing flowers healing over time from 12.5 points per second to 10 points per second. They're also going to nerf her life energy blast projectile charges from 20 to 15, so she'll have to reload a little bit more often. But yet they're going to increase her soul resurgence, her ultimate excess healing, to a bonus health conversion of 0.7 to up to 1. So her ult is going to be a little bit stronger, and she's going to have a little bit more healing anyways, just because if she's having the anchor effect active. All right, and we'll talk more about this here in the team up abilities, because that's actually what I'm getting to next. I think they're getting really creative with these team up abilities. I think they're doing it better and better, and it's clear they want people to favor strategists because of all the controversy and hate and toxicity and just, I don't know, just people don't want to heal in this world, do they? Anyhow, let's get to it. So the first team up I would talk about is a new one with Luna Snow and Adam Warlock. It's called Duality Dance. And how this works is Luna Snow, she's going to borrow his cosmic power, Adam Warlock's cosmic power, to attack nearby enemies. And the damage dealt to them heals Luna Snow, creating a unique offensive healing strategy. This can be huge for Luna because now she can actually be much better at fighting off divers. And I don't care what anyone says. They're like, well, you just need to use her freezing ability to freeze someone when they dive. First of all, that freezing ability kind of sucks, okay? You freeze Black Panther for like a split second and you miss a shot on him, he's just going to thaw out and kill you, okay? In my opinion, Luna is generally the weakest at defending herself against divers. So this team up is amazing because now she can actually deal damage and heal herself while she is firing on a diver. That's just cool. I can't wait to see this in action. I can't wait to play this in action. I love playing Luna. All right, so the next team up is Mantis, Loki, and Groot. Mantis is the anchor. This is called Vibrant Vitality. Mantis anchors this team up by granting life energy. So basically, Loki's lamps are now going to boost attack stats, and then Groot's walls now heal nearby enemies. And so this is going to be a great way to keep your team alive, and then to use Loki not only as a lifesaver with his lamps, but his ability to just buff people and buff their attack just like Rocket does. So this is really cool, and I tell you right now, Mantis is going to be meta in season 3.5. She's absolutely going to be meta. She's going to be so powerful because of this team up, and if I play a game with Mantis and no one wants to team up, I'm going to be so upset, okay, because this is really important. It can really help in battles. All right, so they made some adjustments for the team ups. There's a new addition here. Iron Fist is joining Luna Snow and Hawkeye, so he's getting a Harmony recovery skill to heal himself and nearby allies. So get this, Iron Fist is going to be a healing DPS, okay? And I said this earlier in the video, Iron Fist is ideal for fighting off diving tanks. It's what he's perfect at, and I seem to be like one of the only people who plays him this way, and I love playing them this way. But with this update, I can now protect my healers, and I can even heal them while they're being attacked in the back row. Or I can brawl next to other tanks and to help destroy other tanks and heal my tanks as well. I love this. I love playing Iron Fist. I love that he can heal. This is amazing, and you people who play Iron Fist should really start playing him differently and stop trying to dive the healers over and over, because people are getting pretty good at picking off Iron Fist, all right, if they're not banning him. Play him differently. He's meant to take tanks down just like Wolverine does. All right, Rocket Network is getting a new addition. This one is pretty nasty. Star-Lord joins Rocket Raccoon and Penny Parker with this update, right? So he gets a teleportation beacon with a 30-second cooldown, and this is similar to Sombra, if any of you played Overwatch, where she can just fight and then teleport back to her little beacon that she drops. This is going to make Star-Lord like this total assassin. I guarantee he's going to be placing that beacon behind the whole team, and he's going to be picking at the back line and then just disappearing, and he's going to bother everybody. So get ready to defend yourself against Star-Lord or get ready to play Star-Lord and get better at him and using this ability to really keep the team on their heels. Okay, next team up is Lunar Force. Blade is joining that. He creates a dome that heals him and makes him temporarily invisible. I don't know a whole lot about Blade yet, and from what I've seen, he looks really impressive. So I think this is going to be a big deal, and again, it's going to make people fight over playing Cloak and Dagger. Ragnarok Rebirth, Loki's removed from that, and only Thor can be revived if Hela lands a last hit, which I don't see as often, but that's really not going to be as big deal because play Loki and someone has Mantis, it's going to be awesome. All right, so they removed the Guardian Revival, so there's no more Adam Warlock, Mantis, Star-Lord. It's considered overpower, I guess. So they don't want to do that anymore. The Atlas Bond, which was Iron Fist and Luna Snow, it just wasn't used much, and it was not very effective. That extra attack that Luna got, it just did a little bit of healing and kind of a shockwave, but it really never did a lot to help Luna out, and I barely used it when I used her, and there just weren't a lot of Iron Fist playing in ranked matches anyways, at least in my experience. So that is what is going on with the team up. So it goes without saying that you're going to want to practice playing Iron Fist or Star-Lord or Groot, etc. But my advice is to practice the players that counter these players. So for example, Star-Lord, any player that's got hit scan that can instantly hit, and that's like Hela or the Punisher, they can hit flyers pretty easily. I actually think Wanda is probably the most amazing counter to Star-Lord because she could just go up and beam her little, no aiming, no skill thing, whatever it is people call it, right? Her force, and take Star-Lord out pretty easily. And I think a good Wanda player will play the back line if she needs to defend against Spider-Man or Star-Lord, and then she can go up to the front line to add a lot more damage, especially if she's teamed up with Doctor Strange. And I hate how people make fun of Wanda and don't like players that play Wanda. Again, that's one of my 13 toxic rules, how people treat each other in this game. I think Wanda's a really useful character, and she's going to be especially useful when there's going to be Spider-Mans and Star-Lords and Iron Fists all over the place in Season 3.5. Just play characters that you can play well, that can deal with these characters. Whether you're a Vanguard or a strategist, get good at dealing with these characters. And if you can't handle dive characters like this, you're just not going to win. You're never going to rank up. And I am going to make a video about divers and why people just refuse to just handle them and how it makes people lose the game, I think, most of the time, in my opinion. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.